It's a brisk autumn morning and Rotorua is about to be flooded with hundreds of eager runners in the Rotorua Marathon. Inside this splash of pink are 4 women who've raised thousands of dollars in sponsorship to fund the Pink Pilates Trust, an organisation which helps women recovering from all types of cancer.
There were times when I was really ill. Going to do my Pink Pilates class would be the only thing I would do all week. And to think that 6 months later I was out running and training and then competing way surpassed any of my expectations of how quickly I would physically recover.
For me, when I was doing chemo last year, I wasn't thinking about half marathons. It's something I started thinking about actually after I'd started Pilates and I'd gone through those first sessions with Megan. It was neat to be with a bunch of people and to be raising some money as well.
The benefits that the women get from the program is just that sense of gaining control of their body again.
Happily married Jo Hooton loves nothing more than to spend time with her husband and children.
I'm a North Shore girl, went to local primary school in Forestall and then went on to Carmel College in Milford. Married a Shore boy and our first daughter arrived at the end of 2000 and every couple of years from there on. Since I had Connor, my 4th child, I haven't been back working, so I'm a stay-at-home mum. So I just went along for my first mammogram, which my GP had always said at 40 to start them. When I got called back again for another mammogram, the second mammogram, they noticed something, so I had an ultrasound and a biopsy, and that all happened straight away. And even then, to be honest, I wasn't kind of thinking anything. By the time I'd done the 3 nights of waiting, I'd convinced myself driving down it was actually all fine. And so I was absolutely lost for words when, I was told I had cancer. It's one of those things, it's worst nightmare in a way. You hear the word cancer and you immediately have all sorts of connotations of what that means or where it might take you.
I'm Erica and I'm a breast cancer surgeon. The exciting bit about breast cancer treatment is that the majority of people will be breast cancer survivors now and will not die of breast cancer. And so what that means for us now is that we've got a whole group of women that we need to rehabilitate, and both emotionally and physically, in order that they can carry on with a good quality of life.
Lou James is a physiotherapist and founder of Pink Pilates.
I was seeing clients for breast cancer at my physiotherapy clinic because they were having issues with their surgery, and they're often very scared because they have pain and they don't know whether that pain means that there's still cancer there or what to do. One of the main things that I got so excited about when I started Pink Pilates is there's so much research to suggest that exercise is so good for people after cancer. If you could rehab people, if you could get them over some of their physical issues that they had and get them stronger again, then they would be able to exercise. My name's Megan and I'm a physiotherapist on the North Shore. Pilates as an exercise regime was developed in the Second World War by a man called Joseph Pilates. He was an orderly at a hospital and he developed an exercise regime using the springs and pulleys on the hospital beds for his patients so they could do resistance exercises. Probably in the last 10 years it's been really incorporated into physiotherapy, and that's because all the research that's been done into back pain in the last 10 years has been about the deep abdominal muscles supporting the spine, and that's what Pilates does basically. It works those core muscles.
Liz Brooks has always lived life to the max. A keen adventurer, Liz craved for the outdoors and was happiest trekking through the bush, kayaking or skiing down a mountain.
I did a Masters in Recreation Administration eventually at Victoria, and I met my husband because we were very enthusiastic practitioners of recreation activities while we were doing our studies, so we used to go out and do a lot of whitewater paddling. I work part-time. I've got 2 children now, a 14-year-old son, Sam, and an 11-year-old daughter, Sophie. I got diagnosed just over a year ago. Went to visit my GP for an annual checkup, and she said I don't like the feel of that. She found something on my breast, and so I was straight away that afternoon down to a specialist breast centre down in Milford. Went to Tauranga for the weekend, didn't tell anybody, and then came back to Auckland and saw my specialist. I had my suspicions that obviously there was something there, it wasn't going to be good. I guess I'd prepared myself, so I was shocked but not surprised when they confirmed it.
Lindsay Grobler has never been one to shy away from keeping fit. But little did Lindsay realise how useful her physical fitness would be in preparing her to overcome the biggest challenge in her life.
I was born in Cape Town and I remained in Cape Town until I left for New Zealand, which was almost 6 years ago. I met my husband, we actually worked together for a while at a research institute. My daughter was 3 when we came over.
Lindsay found a lump on her breast and immediately went to her local doctor.
Went to the GP referred me, went for mammogram. We were thinking that it wasn't really anything serious. Had a scan that day and then sort of picked up with the atmosphere in the room that it wasn't too good. And after the scan they said I should have a biopsy the next day, which I did, and that was the Thursday, and by the Monday I had the results back and I was seeing the breast surgeon on the Monday.
The first 2 weeks were just really, really awful. It was like we'd been picked up and put in somebody else's life. Unfortunately, when you're given the news from the surgeons, they do need to say there is a chance you could die, and that's all I could hear. That's all I kept hearing. It was a week before Christmas. All the surgeons, you know, they go away on holiday, but you know, Erica gave us her mobile. We could contact her at any time, which was really a comfort.
I had the operation around about the 13th of September. The next week I had a portacath put in, and I think my first chemo was the middle of October.
We went straight away into surgery, had a good removal of the tumour, so I had a lumpectomy, and then the lymph glands were infected, and they took 38 lymph glands out from under my arm, and 11 of those were positive, which means that the cancer was on the move.
The types of breast cancer surgery that people will have nowadays would be what we call a partial mastectomy or a lumpectomy, where we only remove part of the breast, or a mastectomy, and that is may be combined with a reconstruction, which might mean an implant into the skin, or it might mean muscle and fatty tissue taken from another area and moved there. Everyone will have some surgery under their arm too. Either a single node, a sentinel node will be removed, all their lymph nodes will be removed from under the arms. On our 10th wedding anniversary, I went in for my surgery, and which wasn't kind of quite how we were planning to spend it, but never mind. But it was a really successful operation, the first operation. So Erica just did a partial mastectomy, and they test the sentinel lymph nodes at the time, which are the first lymph nodes that the breast drains into, and they were clear. So that was, as my husband said, that was just the best anniversary present we could have ever had.